So currently, there is a bit of a controversy going on with this creator that I am showing right here. This is BOLLARDILLS, and for this video, I'm just going to be calling him Baller. And so, there's been a controversy about a few of his levels. I'm going to be going over a few of them. First of all, we have this level, called Improvement. And yes, it is indeed spelled incorrectly. Now, this level, by a lot of people's standards, should not be rated. And so I'm going to be giving my honest thoughts to think, is this rate-worthy? If it should or shouldn't be, and just overall how I feel about these levels being rated. Now, I think we've mostly seen this video, or level, and that's just mainly this level. This is what kind of spiked the controversy of this man having way less quality levels and still getting rates. Now you gotta remember, this is a rated level. In GD, this is a rated level called Improvement. It's literally even spelled incorrectly, which I think it just shows a little bit more how lazy it is. Now, this isn't saying that the level is particularly bad, but it's not amazing. For goodness sakes, this level has almost zero decoration, and this is more than likely the best part of the level. Now, this is kind of a disappointment too, because this level kind of shows that becoming the laziest level can really do anything nowadays. You can literally make a layout at this point. And that's kind of what I also want to go over at this point. Levels that look like this are getting rated. Now, a lot of people are saying that this isn't a bad thing and that RobTop should have lowered the rate standards a long time ago. But I personally think that this is a bad thing, because this is going to push new players to think that, oh, I can just make a very quick and very lazy level and it'll get rated by RobTop. Now, I definitely do think RobTop is a little bit at fault, but I genuinely think more so the mods are at fault. Because remember, they're the ones that are setting these levels. And so I feel like definitely the mods should be the ones that are at fault here, but definitely RobTop on somewhat his end. As for this man has only been playing for a month and has 8 creator points. Now, we've seen other stuff like Gerald Brown, I remember, but that was also a collection of creators. And actually, one of his levels, Glass, got rated about 2 minutes ago. And, well, that kind of sums it up. These levels aren't amazing and shouldn't really be recognized. So the next one I want to talk about is Signals. This level is a level. It's not good, and it's not good. Now, do you see, this is also rated. I know, this is insane. This reminds me of the recent tab. Now, I'm actually going to say this. This part of the level right here is the best part of the level. In my honest opinion, this part is the best part of the level, which should immediately lower your standards and not get your hopes up. Which is kind of sad, because then again, well, rated levels are supposed to be good. This is also a pretty good part of the level when you're considering how low the standard is for this. And, well, if you told a normal creator that if this looked good, they would more than likely say that this looks garbage. And if you didn't tell them that this was rated, they probably would think that this was your average try to get recent tab level. Now, this also spikes up a controversy that if these simpler levels should be rated. Personally, if you're doing it correctly, yes. But if you're doing it in this kind of messy style, definitely no. You should try experimenting more with how to create a better level. And I think that's the thing that he messed up with. Now, BOLLARDILLS isn't a bad creator by any chance, but his levels are very lazy. In fact, the most moving part of this level is the backgrounds. And I'm assuming that's what he spent the most time on in this level. They spent almost probably 0 time on the gameplay. As for this gameplay is also kind of not that great. Which also spikes another thing. The gameplay is not that great in all these levels. Improvement has a snooze fest for the first 15% and then kind of throws you into the ship part, which is very unsight readable, as for you can't even see the saws. In this level, it's not that bad when it comes to the UFO, but it definitely could be better. And this is another thing. The levels could be better. Now, I don't want to keep talking about the gameplay, as for this level does have some awkward gameplay. This ball part is probably the least awkward gameplay, in fact. As for it is very, really sight readable, And I think that's the only thing that's good about this level. It's pretty sight readable, and it actually only took me a few attempts to beat this. This is probably the hardest part of the level, and I get it. It doesn't look the best. And I don't know why, but this level just doesn't overall give rate-worthy standards. I don't think this should be rate-worthy, as for all the reasons stated before. And so let's move on to his next level. Our next level is Vessel, which honestly is probably his best level, even though he has a featured level. Now, this was his actual 4th ever level, which, that's insane. We know creators like Hermal have their first level rated, but that's because somebody gave him the level. If it weren't for that, he wouldn't probably have his first level rated. And it's a very rare occurrence where somebody even has their first level rated, much less their first, second, or even 5th level. But no, this man had his 4th ever level rated. And I'm going to say it, this level in his standards is probably an epic rating. This genuinely looks better than his featured level. Now, this also is because I just kind of like the style more of this level, but that isn't to say that it's good. None of these levels should be rated in my opinion, and I also do want to go over the gameplay. The gameplay in this level is not bad by any means. The only part where it gets bad is after the UFO, as shown in the footage here. The spikes are a little awkward, and the orb spam is a little weird. And that's kind of fine. That's really the only bad part of the level, which is a good thing, because I really like this level, and so for it to not be bad all the way through, like Improvement or Signals, that's a good thing. And I get it. This level does not look amazing, but out of all the levels that I'm going to be going over, you're going to see why I think this is more than likely the best one. And this is also the only one that I'm going to go for the controversy. As for, there are also other levels that I'm going to go for, but they're not for the controversy. They're just for the reason that I like them. Next up, we have unneevu calme, which I think just means the level of calm. And this level is a level. Like I've said before, these levels aren't amazing. And, well, this one is actually kind of a sad reason. I don't know the reasoning behind this level. As for this level, also looks really good. And this one, well, actually deserves a rate. It's extremely bare bones and very, very not decorated, but it genuinely does look rate-worthy. I could see levels like this being rated, and I genuinely think levels that are of this style should be rated. And this isn't to say that not all other levels of this style should be rated. There's a lot more recent tab levels that aren't rated like this, but I genuinely think that levels like this should be rated. Now, only the first part of the level really brings it down. As for the rest of the level, it's pretty fine. This part's also pretty cool. I like the spinning things in the background. And also, the gameplay isn't bad. This was definitely play tested a lot more than all of his other levels. The UFO is a little bit wonky at parts just because of these sliding little object things. And especially this part because you can just literally crash into any of those. But that's really the only bad part of the level. This part is actually the best part of the level and genuinely looks like there was a lot of time and effort put into this part. Now, by time and effort, I mean this part probably took about 30 minutes to make, which in BOLLARDILLS' timeline, which, as you can see, Signals took only probably like an hour. This level, very detailed. I would love to see levels like this get rated more often. And to the mods and RobTop, you guys did a great job. Next level we have is Boxed Out, and this is also one of my most favorite. It definitely does not look rate-worthy, and I genuinely think that there is a reason why it's not rate-worthy, just because of how simple, like extremely simple the level decoration is. Also because there's some random gameplay parts that aren't the best, but I genuinely think that's kind of a sad thing though. As for, this level is not bad by any means necessary. It's just that it's not rate-worthy. The gameplay, on the other hand, is good for the first cube. And by I mean the first cube, I mean until it all of a sudden turns upside down. As for the upside down sections are definitely a little bit more wonky, and I feel like that's kind of a sad part. And also, this level does not feel that play tested, which is kind of sad too. As for this level, compared to all other BOLLARDILLS levels, is pretty good. especially considering signals and improvement are rated. This is definitely something that, well, should have definitely taken more time to make, but I think for just the quality that it is, it's pretty good. It's not amazing, but it's also not absolute garbage, which is, again, a good thing. I also do want to talk about his newest rated level that I said got rated about 10 minutes ago. This level, I'm just going to say this a lot more times, is a level, and it feels very copy and pasted. It kind of feels like a sunset, and I genuinely think the level isn't that bad. And, well, I think that's a good thing. This level isn't bad, but as you could just see, it's a little wonky when it comes to gameplay. And, well, that is kind of sort of a bad thing, but isn't super bad in the situation that we are in. But also, it's very copy and pasted, which is a little bit of a bad thing. Now, copy and pasting isn't a bad thing if it isn't super noticeable. But when it is super noticeable and you can't keep anything super fresh for the whole level, stuff gets to get a little more complicated. Now, this isn't particularly, again, a bad level, but it's not a good level, which is kind of a problem. As for, again, these are getting rated more often and often. Now, there is also a lot more levels that are starting to look more lazy, and I think that's a little bit more of a problem. RobTop is steadily lowering the rate standards just so I think newer creators can get a bit more satisfaction of themselves and think, you know what, I did a good thing today. I finally got a creator point, which is a good thing to set, but if you're giving them a major confidence boost and thinking that they can create anything, even like layouts at this point could get rated, which is another problem. Somebody could just put on a layout that they're still working on, but it's like a minute and a half long, and RobTop could just rate it. And this is also a bad thing, as for unfinished levels are going to start getting more rated. Now, I think there should be a verification system and like a little survey before you publish the level. And it should put like the state of like, is this level finished? Is it of good quality in your opinion? And then like you could upload it. And I feel like this is kind of a good system, but then creators would get more bored and not create levels because they wouldn't have to go through the verification system. So there should be like a setting to maybe disable it if you're maybe like a mod or something. And well, if you have like if you're a creator with over like 10 creator points, which I think is a good set boundary. It's not too cruel, and well, to create a level, you just have to go through this little verification process. And it's not a bad thing. Now, I bet a lot of people are going to disagree with me in that case, but please make sure to write your comments down in the comments. And that's basically all I have to say for this level. It's not absolute garbage. It's not great, though. Then we have his featured level. It's cool. This is something that you would see get a rate average, but not a feature. Now, this is a very, very, very low bar when it comes to feature levels. As for most feature levels, don't look like this. They look way better. In fact, this isn't even his best level in my opinion, which is something to say as for he only has one feature. And I think every creator strives to at least get one feature in their creating time. And this man managed to pull it off somehow in less than a month, which is insane if you think about it. Most creators take years to get good at the game and creating. For instance, me, I've been playing this game for almost 2 years now, and, well, I've improved a bunch. Now, I'm saying 2 years as in, like, 2 years creating, because I was playing way before that. I was playing almost back in 2021. Yup, all the way back then. I'm an old feller, okay? But anyways, this level looks pretty good compared to all of his other levels. And, well, this level is definitely rate-worthy. I wouldn't say that it's feature-worthy as stated before, which is another thing. More levels are going to start getting the bar below, or the bar above, sorry. Which means an average rate level, like this one, will end up getting a feature. And this is going to start making legendaries and epics more common. Now, there's also a theory going around this person that this is just a Solstice experiment, and another theory that I actually think is really funny. This is one of Rob Top's, like, cousins or something. And I do like that theory, but I genuinely think this is just a random guy that really, really lucked out and managed to get 9 creator points in the span of less than a month. I want you to think about that. Less than a month. Most creators take, I've stated this before, years to even get 1 creator point. For instance, people like GD Cologne, they didn't get their first levels rated. They had to wait a decent amount of time. Same thing with other people. They don't get their levels rated. And I think SD Slayer got his first ever rate, and he's been playing this game since like 2014, which is absolutely insane. But for this guy to just naturally have the power to basically like rate his own levels at this point, it's basically where almost all of his levels, unless they're super, super simple, are gonna get rated. Now, this is the last level I want to talk about by BOLLARDILLS. This is Above the Clouds, which in my personal opinion is his best level. And here's the thing, it's only a rated level, which kind of amazes me. This level definitely looks like a future level. And especially this part. He used the rainbow blocks really, really well. And really just, I like this level. There's not really anything I can say to really disclose it. It's just that this decoration is pretty good. The gameplay, yes, is a bit wonky, especially at this beginning, since it's really like 2x speed mini cube. But that's fine. It doesn't really matter. As long as this level has good decoration and at least bearable gameplay, I would count it as a good level. In fact, in the BOLLARDILLS like raid area, this would definitely be like an epic, considering that Solitude, the featured level, only got featured. This, in my opinion, looks way better than that one. But that's really all I wanted to do for this video. I wanted to get my thoughts and opinions out of the way. And heck, maybe one more of his levels will get rated, and this video will soon become out of date. And probably more than likely, like, tomorrow or something. But anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. And make sure to like and subscribe. Leave your suggestions on videos in the comments. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one, and peace out.